Yo, what's up, peoples? It's your boy MM2K. I know we a little bit off schedule, just a little teensy bit, But I came back with the crew. You know what I'm saying? The co-hosts of Scrampunks. Let's do this. First and foremost, for the holiday episode, it's the one, the only TRS, the Fusion Wolf. What's going on, man? Can you let the good people know that you're alive, brother?
I'm actually alive. I'm alive and well, or am I? I'm just glad to be here, man, for another episode that is possibly equal to the one we had before the last one.
Yeah,
because we have the magic one on the show with us today.
Oh,
the other co-host, the mighty one. This might be an equally brilliant episode, just like the last one he decided to show up on. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful morning. Okay, all right.
In my opinion, that was the best episode. I think I've watched that like 3 times.
Yeah, people really digging that. That's our most popular episode, man. Killer Hill on there.
Okay.
We gonna have to sedate this mug and drag his ass to the studio and lock him up, man.
I got chains.
You got 2 chains.
They put some lotion on.
Speaking of that, and we have the other. We're all co-hosts here, man. There's no mother brain here. We're all co-hosts, and we got the other one, the only Killer Hill. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, peoples?
It's going. Let us know you alive, man. What is the deal? What is going on?
Oh man, just chilling, going through work and all that crazy stuff.
What's up, people?
But yeah, I'm back. I missed last Wednesday, but I'm back.
Cool, man. Good. All right, so this is, this may not be a very long one. For the first and foremost, because we started off a little bit later than usual, and trust me, people, we gonna have this rolling neck. This was my bad. This was my fault. We gonna stick to our 9:30 time slot, so we ain't gonna keep people up to the midnights. But what we want to talk about a few things, and then we also realize that it is a holiday. Okay, it is Christmas, and people are out, eating their turkey giblets, and doing whatever they do, throwing snowballs at old people's faces, and trying to stay warm because it's cold as hell out here, man. Just stay warm, do all that good stuff. We want to make sure that again, we don't run too long. We go over these topics, and we talk to you a little bit about our plans going into 2018. But first and foremost, let's talk about gaming weeks. Killer Hill, I know you said you were working, brother, but and don't feel bad if you really don't have much, because Rebecca, I ain't really done much myself. But have you got any gaming in since last time you were on the show, brother?
I picked up a little bit of Final Fantasy 15. Just started going down in them dungeons.
Word. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Kind of rocket.
I want to talk about that. I'm writing that down on the scripts. All right, man. We gonna talk about that Final Fantasy 15 because I'm tired of being called a fraud.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I want to be real. I want to be real as Jello. You know what I'm saying? We gonna put that down there.
Be as real as Nasty Nate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to be that Bill Cosby real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, pop a pill in your drink.
I want Killer to pop some pills about that Final Fantasy 15 because I want to know if it's the real deal. Okay, Killer Hill's been a Final Fantasy dude since Final Fantasy came back, and not just for the new age folks. You know what? Since we remember we was rocking that Final Fantasy 5 on the PlayStation 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
definitely.
With Kefla and all them. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh man, classics. Oh
yeah.
So we're gonna talk. I'm gonna throw that in there. All right. Anything else, Killer Hill, you've been doing in your gaming week?
Nah, mainly just been watching.
Watching, okay.
Watching.
Yeah.
Seeing what's out there. See what look good.
Word. Oh, that's what's up.
Other than playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cool thing. Is hey, I'm you know what? I've been doing more watching than playing, but I'll get into that. It's not about me. All right. TRS, the Fusion Wolf. We know what the look. Just by the goddamn name, you're exposed. So can you let the people, the good peoples, and we got somebody watching. The good peoples, what you been up to, man?
Well, I know what everybody thinks. Everybody thinks I'm going to be deep into Destiny because of the name, of course, Fusion Wolf. But actually, I've been trying to go behind the scenes right now. And if you guys don't mind, I just want to give a shout out to somebody real quick.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
I got to try and make sure that I say his name right. It's a long Spanish name. Shout out to my man El Vacilo Nasso.
Oh.
That's his name.
Oh,
I'm giving him a shout out for his guru level advice on creating my Facebook group for my Destiny clan. It's called the Grotto. GROTTO. If anyone's looking for a clan to start in and just reap the benefits, we created a clan for those who would like to learn all this Destiny from the jump, to include like elite free raids. So you can just check out the Facebook group, the Grotto, and join us. We just pray you don't mind our twisted humor and dedication to eventually dominate as hard as we can in the Destiny universe. So everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome for that. And again, it's the Grotto, GROTTO. We're trying to build a massive clan that doesn't have their feet stuck up in their butt, and we can actually like concentrate on being a threat while still being down to earth and having fun and having jokes and stuff. So we're trying to do that.
That's what's up, man. So if you want to be,
that's what I'm working on now.
So if you want to be one of the 5 people playing Destiny, join TRS. No, I'm just. I'm just.
We will take all 5.
Oh man, no. Destiny still got legs, man. You know what? I was thinking about doing it, and then because remember, I've been dogging this game. I've been shatting all over this game. It's like I took a whole jar of Metamucil and just dumped it all over this game. You know what I'm saying? And then they was talking about this Osiris was coming out. I was like, word. And then I saw, yeah, exactly. And I was like, all right, I might just do it, man. I done dogged this game out enough. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. However, let me say something. Yo, Cyrus Burke in the chat. What's good, man? That's my mans. What's going on, man? Appreciate you joining us. So I said, yo, I'm going to get it. And then the next day, an article came out about how there was bugs with Osiris. But I don't know if the TRS, is that true? Is there a whole bunch of bugs with Osiris or anything like that? Or you haven't noticed anything?
I've only dealt with one. There's this one warp that wasn't working once you get done with the mission. And you want to warp out and escape so that you can go to the next missions. This one warp wasn't working. You had to kind of go back and come back, and it might activate if you're lucky. But they actually fixed that. That's the only one I know of. But I did hear of some other hidden stuff that people were catching, but I only caught that.
Gotcha. No, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, look, y'all. Triple B, Broadband Bullies, I'm part of that group. We got a Discord. Definitely join it. It's popping in there, man. Big ups to Blue Rendezvous, man. That was the ultimate pick. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but that could be like New England picking up James Harrison just for, even if it is for 5 minutes, man. Because that's gonna be bad for the Steelers. All it takes is one play, man. All it takes is one play. If that dude do one play, man, the Mugs is gonna be salty, man. Oh man. But Blue Rendezvous definitely was a big pickup, man, and the Discord is popping like never before. So I'm going to try to find a link, because the way it's set up, like now when I broadcast, it goes straight to the Discord. So I see a lot of people popping on from the Discord. So I appreciate that. So it gets bigger and bigger and better. Okay, I'm gonna look for. Oh, here it goes. Here goes the Discord. I'm gonna copy the link address. I'm putting the Discord in the chat. Follow that Discord. It's going on in there. They're doing mighty things. It's mighty healthy. Okay. Let me see. All right. Let me get back here. So check it out. You'll have a good time. That's the Discord link. Enjoy. All right. So okay, Destiny. Definitely. Anything else? Any Elder Scrolls Online, brother? Or
yeah, man. I'm going in deep with the Elder Scrolls. I'm actually playing it right now, man.
Oh, word.
With that, but As far as Destiny's concerned, I'm hoping they do a little bit better on the next DLCs. I hope they work with that because lingering in the Raptors, waiting to dominate, is Anthem, and you know it.
Okay.
So that's coming. So I hope it doesn't just run all over Destiny because I'm going to be on that too.
Yeah.
So, and the way they were doing that, the way they were broadcasting and showing that at E3, it was like my Destiny heart-on just went crazy. It was insane, man. So
The pipe radar would just went off the charts. Yeah, I know.
I keep telling them, get it right, because Anthem is coming.
Yeah, man.
Get it right.
Yeah. Yo, when that when that Anthem drops, I'm gonna be out here like Smith and Wesson. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Man, look.
I'm gonna be like you with Borderlands 2, where you were
standing man, yes.
With that cup.
With the
you was collecting coins with that cup when you standing outside.
Yeah, I was singing spirituals and shit. Yeah, man. Fill her up. Yeah, man.
The only other thing I'm looking forward to, I was talking to your son. Christmas dinner. I was talking to your son. And me and him are supposed to, I want to join.
Zoinky. You talking about Zoinky.
Zoinky.
Hey, yo, man.
Join forces on Gears of War.
Let me see
on every version.
Let me send this dude a text, man. Man, yo, I'm not to change the subject. That dude is a little genius, man.
Yeah.
I gave that mug like 3 computers this weekend to fix, and
he ate them. He just started eating them.
I dropped him off. That mug called me like 30 minutes later and said they're done.
Are you serious?
Yo. This dude is crazy. But the thing about it is, I'm scared because during his possession, he's going to break them. Like, he can do the software, but the hardware-wise...
and then start jumping on
them. Yeah. like this is Snaggle Rock and shit. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, yeah, let me question. Yeah, I need to question. Let me text him, tell him show's live so he can... Oh man, can you imagine we get to we get the phoning in through Skype or whatever, and this mug calls in, man. Mind blown. But what you gonna want to do? Oh, this dude's gonna go crazy, man. he's gonna take all over your membranes, man.
Oh man.
So I appreciate everybody in the chat and all the other good stuff. Here's what I've been getting into. Not a goddamn thing. Dude, it's been, look, at my job, which I can't tell y'all, it's none of your goddamn business. At my job, man, we're doing some year-end stuff, so it's been real hectic. I haven't been able to jump on gaming like the way I want to. We are, for the Broadband Bullies, we are doing a Ghost Recon Wildlands tournament. And I was talking to UTRS about this. And Killer Hill, I know what we're gonna start off with this after I talk about my non-gaming week. Let's see here. Alright, Xbox. There's an Xbox S deal that's out there right now. It's crazy. It's crazy, silly Gumby crazy. It's you get an Xbox S. Well, I'll bring it up a little bit. So I really haven't been able to game like I want to. However, I did do an Xbox One X enhanced video. I started it last night. You definitely want to check it out because I know they're my least popular videos because everybody's expecting me to jump on and say, this looks mind-blowing, it is melting my face eyes and all this other stuff. No, you're going to want to watch this video because I don't know about this one. That's all I'm going to say. So I did get some Call of Duty World War II on, and again, when I do my Xbox One X enhanced videos, I am not talking about the quality of the gameplay. It is all about the visuals. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely got to check that out. It's definitely something worth watching. Please don't, because you're not gonna get cookie cutter there. You know what I mean? But that's about it. And what else have I done? The kids been playing my Xbox One X more than I have and shit, man. This is ridiculous.
Damn, that's saying much.
Yeah, man. They've been playing Rise. I was watching them, man, because my wife got me cleaning, doing all this crazy stuff. Let's talk about Christmas. And anybody doing yo, my wife is crazy, man. Look, let me tell you something about her, man. She's selfish as Donnie Yen. She said, "Oh, this hard. Oh, that's hard." Yeah, that's what she says when she goes to see a movie. Or, "Oh, that's garbage. That's garbage." Shut up. So, let me tell you about this mug, man. Yo, Neverland, what's up? It is the mod of the year. Neverland's in here. I thought you was doing it. He said, "I thought you thought I was doing the Netflix tournament." No, I ain't doing no damn Netflix tournament. He trying to be funny, talking about all we care about is multimedia on Xbox. Man, please, Netflix tournament. Even though, yo, I did check out that Bright. If you didn't see Bright on Netflix, I think it's worth watching. Check it out.
I was wondering about that.
It's getting a lot of hate. You know, look, I know why it's getting the hate. Because we know what it's about.
Because Will Smith did rap.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He didn't rap with digital monsters. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way they can take Will Smith is when he's super goofy as hell. But it's not like the best movie, but it's not horrible at all.
Exactly. Yeah, it's watchable. It's
watchable. You know, and it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's where they can do sequels, they can work off of it. You know, they can make it better next time. But for it to get the hate that it's getting, it's just. I'll put it like this: it's just the last throws. And for those that have seen it, or when you do see it, you'll know exactly what I mean by when I say that. It's just the last throws that are hating on this video, or hating on that movie. But yeah, definitely, no, TRS, definitely go see it. So
I was gonna watch that after I finished Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh, okay, yeah, man. Hey, yo,
it's hilarious.
Yup, Cyrus said Bright is dope. Exactly, Bright is good, man. It was interesting, man. Very interesting. I mean, they got something to build off of. Just that whole that concept is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They got something to build off of. But let me tell you about this mug, man. My wife, because it's Christmas. Okay. So we make an agreement because we got all these damn kids is kids and all this. Yeah, I'm telling my age. Excuse me, that we got to buy for. So me and her say we gonna spend X amount of dollars on each other because it's not about us. We grown as people. We don't care about Christmas as far as us getting a gift. So she always chips into my money. Like, I'm just going to throw a figure out there. Let's just say we're going to spend $200 on each other. Somehow her gifts always ends up being $300, and then mine's only ends up being $100. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so this is what I did to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what I did to her this year. I said, yo, sweetheart, we only got X. I lowered it purposely when I told her, knowing that she was going to double it and think she was going to cut into my stash, right? She was going to cut into my cheese. So when she found out it was double, she was full. So I'm like, yeah, I played you. I played the shit out of you. Yeah, you got it. So go order my shit right now, Chief. Did she order my shit? No. So on Christmas, she's dancing around with her little dresses and all this other, but like she's Elizabeth Taylor and shit on white diamonds. She's dancing around with her stuff, and I'm just sitting there with nothing. So I got me a Blue Yeti. So I'm gonna hook this mug up. It's a microphone, value set. It's going to have a voice popping crisp and all that stuff. But it came with a free copy of Assassin's Creed Origins for the PC. So I'm gonna slap that on there. That was my Christmas. That's all I cared about anyway. I got 2 gifts wrapped into one. Also, and I appreciate y'all in the chat joining us. Also, what I got is now look, Triple B, we all brethren, okay? I got my man Jay Wags. All right, y'all saw the video, okay? I'm not going, that's my man's, love him to death, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm Seedling in the chat. Young Seedling in the chat. Oh, my bad. Young Seed. that's Zoinky. Yo, Zoinky, you did what I told you to. Now I ain't gotta whoop your ass. Young Seeding in the chat. Change that name. So this is how I was breaking it down to him. I'm like, yo, your name is Zoinky. It's not gonna work, man. You sound like Q-Bert's right-hand man. We're not even gonna do that. We're not even gonna do that tonight. So you call yourself Young Seed 2K. I'm MM2K. And then when you abbreviate it, it's YS as in Wise 2K. He was like, yo, word, that's what I'm gonna do, Pops. Why did this mug change his name first to YC2K? I said, what is YC, man? He said, ain't that what you said? I was like, no. So then he went back and changed it to YZ2K. I was like, no, man, I feel you. Why, young C. So he did it. Good job. Cookies in the mail. Appreciate it. All right.
Get on that gears, Swunky. Get on that gears.
Get on that gears, man. Hey, yo, we killed. I told y'all Black Friday, man, we killed it. We got, what was it, 16 games and a 3 terabyte hard drive. I think it was 16 games for $165. We killed it, man. So, of course, most of those games was his. And he got that PUBG, so he's enjoying that. Yeah, so back to my man Jay Wags. All right. So Wags still talking garbage on PUBG. And he's upset because PUBG was given a 10 out of 10 on Polygon. And my man King Blood, big up to King Blood, you know what I'm saying, was dropping science on him. He was like, yo, Wags, they're talking, they showed that it's both on the Xbox platform and the PC platform, because it is available for both. But this review is strictly PC. He says, so don't get all worked up because you see Xbox there, because they're not talking about the Xbox. They're clearly talking about PC. Wags is going off. Yo, this is bullshit. Yep. He's doing all that. You know what I'm saying? What's that for the Martians off of Sesame Street? Yep. He doing that.
Y'all seen the video.
Yeah, y'all seen the video. He doing that. He on that spill again, right? He's on that again. So I'm being quiet. I'm like, yo, I just got the dude to take the razor blade from my throat, man. I'm not gonna drop another video. I'm not gonna say anything. So I said, yo, Wags. So yeah, Wags, I'm putting you out there on Front Street, bro. I said, Wags, you need to play PUBG on the PC to understand why King's Blood is saying this. I'm going to buy you a copy of PUBG on the PC. So I actually bought this dude a gift. I didn't even get my co-host a gift yet. These bugs is going to put the machete to my throat after you took the razor blade off. So I got Wags on notice. Wags, you got until New Year's to claim your gift. If you don't, my man Charlie Babbitt might pop back out, man. Oh, Charlie Babbitt might have to come back out, man.
Oh, mess.
Hey, yo. I don't know, should I? Hey, yo, Killer, see, people don't understand where I got. Every time I mention that name, they're like, Charlie Babbitt, what is you talking about, man? That name is crazy. I ain't going to tell him yet, Killer. I'm not going to tell him yet. Because Killer knows that Killer was there when Charlie Babbitt was created. And hey, no, I'm going to tell it. These are Christmas stories, all right? So here's the deal. So, you know, we grew up in the slums, believe it or not. We all are educated slums, you know, little project kids, okay? So Killer Hill, reason why we call him Killer Hill is because he has like 35 teardrops that drop all the way down to his shoulder bone, okay? Killer Hill is from the most dangerous projects on this side of the Northeast Atlantic, okay? It's Elmore Square. Killer Hill would always invite me up to his house, and I'd be scared as hell because I was only 13 at the time, and I didn't know where to get Kevlar from. All right, so so we go to this mug's house, and man, yo, look, man, it was like a scene out of Colors. Not his house, but just the area. It was like Colors. You know, I can hear Ice-T in the back. Colors. You know, sitting from the rooftop, and so I goes up there. And there's all these scary mugs, man, scary. Just standing around. And they're like, yo, who's you? And I'm like, my name, and I give them my whole government. I say my whole name. Like my first name, and my middle name, and my last name. So the dude said, what did you say? What's your name? Charlie Babbitt. So Killer Hill is cracking up, man. I'm salty as heck. The whole crew. One dude had a 40. I think he dropped it on his baby. He had a 40 in one hand and his baby in the other. I think he dropped the 40 on his baby's face. And then we was crap, man. Killer Hill, man. He ain't let me live. He was like, Charlie, we went to school the next day. He was like, yo, what was wrong with you, man? You freaked out.
Man, I was scared because that's what me, you, and George used to always rip on each other. Oh,
man. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. So that's where Charlie Babbitt came from. That's where Charlie Babbitt came from. All right, so let's get let's get back into these games, y'all. Let's get back into these games. So really, that is the deal. That's what I've been up to. Really, I just only got that Call of Duty World War II on. Stay tuned for my video. I think I'm just going to drop Scrampunks tomorrow so y'all can re-up on this episode. And then I'm going to drop my World War II video the next day. All right. So here's the deal, y'all. We're going to go over these subjects. We're going to talk about it. Let's go through it. First and foremost, Digital Foundry. Oh, hold on. Before let's pay the bills. Let's go to the chat. So Young Seed says, I just found out that if you have Windows 10, if you buy an Xbox One game that is playable on the PC, you can play it on both. I did that with Cuphead. You just finding that out, and you shouldn't be playing it on PCs. I gave you the fix, fool. Put them away. Man, this bug is he gonna get beat and singed on a hot radiator, man. You better stop playing around, man. Anyway.
He's about to become Cuphead.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, that's the game preview program. I'm glad you discovered it. So Digital Foundry. Okay, here's the deal. Here's why I'm talking Digital Foundry. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Digital Foundry, they are the group, the technical gurus that go and they look at games and then they say, okay, it's running at these frames and there's just compute units and all these polygons and all this other stuff. They became infamous, particularly this generation, because as Xbox games were coming out, they were dogging them. They were like, they're not 1080p. This is horrible. You can't play the game the way that it should be played because on the PlayStation it's 1080p. They were the ones doing all that shebang. And at the beginning of this generation, it was about the power narrative. People heard about that. I remember because, you know, I'm a low life dude. I don't take care of my kids. So I was hanging in game spots all the time. Right. And I was, you know what I'm saying? That's just what you're supposed to do. So I was sitting. Yeah, real man award. The real man award. The GameSpot dweller. So I would sit there and talk to these people in GameSpot, and I'd be like, yo, you know, what's going on? Because I was crafting my choice. And then you'd have people coming in and we'd have these big ass gaming ciphers. We just sit there, you know, jumping around and stuff like that, you know, talking about games. And the narrative again was everywhere I went, there's like TRS knows, there's like 5 or 6 stores that I hit up. Everywhere I went, I heard the power narrative. Only get the Xbox system for its exclusives, you know, for Halo, but your multi-plat you're going to want to play on the PlayStation. And you got to remember, coming over from last gen to this gen, multi-plats became king because, remember, prior to that generation, they weren't multi-plats, they were exclusives. And they were exclusives on the PlayStation 2. Your Grand Theft Autos and your Final Fantasies, yeah, remember that? They were all exclusive to PlayStation. So now they're not exclusive to PlayStation anymore. They're on all the platforms. The developers realize, hey, we might as well make them available to everybody. We're not just going to make it available to PlayStation because it's not a given that PlayStation is going to remain king. And that was a smart move. So the shift became less about exclusives and more to multiplats. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the games that people buy for their console are multiplats.
Yep.
For the Xbox system, exclusives have an attach rate of 4%. Multiplats have an attach rate of, and these are the top 50 multiplats, have an attach rate of 8%. On the PlayStation, exclusives have an attach rate of 3%. Multiplats have an attach rate of 8%. They're both 8% on both systems. Oh, what Young C says, what about The Last of Us? Well, yeah, I mean, The Last of Us has a higher attach rate on the system as a remake, but we're talking about the average. And when people talk about the power narrative being false and they say, oh, no, exclusives matter, they don't say, what about Last of Us? They say, what about exclusives altogether? People will argue that what is driving people to the PlayStation is exclusives. and I'm not, I have my own taste. I'm not saying the exclusives are bad. What I'm saying is that is not true. Nobody, what is driving people to these consoles is not exclusives anymore. What's driving them is the overall experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the Wii. The Wii didn't kick ass last generation because the Wii overall, because the Wii had these great games. It was the experience. And I'm not saying the Wii didn't have great games. The Wii had excellent games. It was that motion control experience that people wanted.
Lost his thrill, I guess, after year 3.
Exactly. After they couldn't, but when they couldn't utilize it, when the most that they could utilize that experience was Zelda, Metroid, and most importantly, Mario. When they realized that they couldn't, and you can't drop a Mario game every 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So when they realized that the overall
system.
Exactly. Yep. Go ahead, Killer.
They give you one Mario system, and then they'll come out with another. Like, what's next? The Switch. And they got this Odyssey, which is hard. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah.
Knocking that, but that'll probably be the only Mario they'll put on the Switch before they come out with another generation.
Thank you. Tell me about it. You know, don't have, and I'm not talking about these knockoff Mario candy canes. You know what I'm saying? Where you're, it's a dancing game. You know,
a genuine article.
Exactly.
Government issue.
Exactly. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is that it's about the experience now. What were you saying, TRS? I'm sorry.
No, I was just laughing when y'all said like the Mario ripoffs. Would that be like Wario's pencils or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wario's bike. Something like that.
Yep. My man Cyrus Burke in the chat says he's not sure. I feel that they do drive people to consoles. It's just not as much as before. They don't hold the same macho as before. No, you're absolutely, you're right. You're right. If I said that they don't matter at all, I was going over the top, but that's what I do. I'm still mad about Christmas, Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? No. No, you're right. They do hold some weight because it gives value to the console in the means of, look, I got a whole bunch of options on this thing. However, like with cell phones, and yes, you can compare cell phones because it's a multimedia device. When Apple goes on TV and says, you can do this, you can snap a picture, you can go on the mountain, and you can take a picture of the bird as it's dying out of the sky. Nobody's going on a mountain to take a picture of a bird as it's dying out the sky. But the simple fact that...
Hold on.
he's like, hold on, you speak for yourself, brother. But the simple fact that you know you can do that with this device that you're about to buy, that adds value to your purchase. It psychologically boosts you up, and it creates mind share. You know what I'm saying? So that's, so you bring up Cyrus Burke, you bring up a very good point. My point was, to go along with your point was, people aren't buying these exclusives. They like the fact that these exclusives are there because they're like, oh, if I ever want to play Wise 3, I can play it. Oh, that's great. But they're not going to play it because it only has a 1% attach rate. Meaning you got 70 million consoles, you have less than 1 million people that's playing the game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. Wise 2K. Wise 2K. You really living up to your name, bro. He says, was Dead Island an Xbox exclusive or PlayStation exclusive? Dead Island is a multi-plat, bro. Come on. You gotta get out of them computers, man. Dead Island is a multi-plat. It's on both systems, But okay, so this was, we were talking about Digital Foundry. So how did I get back to Digital Foundry? Because they were dogging the PlayStation. I mean, they were dogging the Xbox in favor of the PlayStation because of the performance. And that's why people were buying PlayStation in droves. And Microsoft really didn't fix its performance issue until, this year, when it dropped the Xbox One X. And they dropped the Xbox One X at $500, which took a lot of potential casuals out of the fray, I want to say, at least at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because they did not do well marketing of the Xbox One X. Us hardcore people knew what it's about, but the regular fan base, you know what I'm saying, the Killer Hills, the TRSs, they weren't really sure what the hell was going on with this goddamn thing. You know what I mean? Microsoft didn't advertise it well enough for them. So people now got to get this in their hands. So as TRS and Killer Hill come down to the crib and they see me rocking out with gears, and they be like, oh shit, then they might pick one up. They might wait for a price drop or whatever. But it wasn't until this year that they fixed the whole power narrative. So here's why I'm confused by Digital Foundry, because people like to go off of Digital Foundry as far as game recommendations, and that's an If you're a performance buff and Neverland just sitting in the chat, it should have been priced at 400. Definitely should have been priced at 400. Take that L, because you need that install base. You need to increase your install base. You need people to stop buying games on PlayStation and start buying them on the Xbox. And you need to close this gap as soon as possible, because here's what I'm concerned about. All right, I'd say if I convince Killer Hill to buy an Xbox, right?
Okay.
And, you know, Xbox, you're having a slump with your exclusives. Because Killer Hill already got a PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's already invested in an ecosystem to buy his games. You need to give Killer Hill an incentive to buy those multiplats on your system.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if Killer Hill is looking at, I'm going to just use Destiny, you know, not because I want to pick on TRS. He has a copy of Destiny 2 in his hands for PlayStation. He has a copy of Destiny 2 in his hands for the Xbox. He's already invested in the PlayStation ecosystem. In order for him to get it for Xbox, there has to be some type of incentive. All the map packs, all the articles, all the stuff is on the PlayStation. Why is that? Because they have a larger install base and the developers rather go sign up with them as far as giving them extra stuff. You need to change that behavior. You have to increase your install base. Tell Satya Nadella to sit his little punk ass down, sip his Seattle's best, and Phil, you do this. You do the damn thing, okay? You get that install base up, because I know with Satya Nadella, they don't want the install base up. He wants to make money just off of software, and he wants to make just enough money to fill up their bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So the deal is, that's what they got to do. But back to Digital Foundry, because I'm going to get this out. I'm going to get this out about them.
Dude, that was really surprising, because I thought that you were just going to finish that off with, you know, the main incentive is to just drop all cartridges of Destiny into the fireplace. And that's how you would I thought that was coming, man.
You throw them into the lava pit. No, yeah, that would have been good, but I'm not as clever as y'all, man. I'm still mad over Christmas. So so Digital Foundry makes game recommendations, and the game recommendations are piss poor. They told everybody, don't buy PUBG, buy Fortnite. And the only reason why people were buying Fortnite, because they were waiting for PUBG to come out. Now that PUBG is out, they don't really give a crap about Fortnite unless you're playing on PlayStation, because you can't play PUBG on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So nobody listens to Digital Foundry's game recommendations. So they confuse me there. The other thing that confused me, though, is they dropped a video today or recently where they gave Horizon Zero Dawn the tech demo of the year. And it beat Forza Motorsport 7. And here's my problem with that. Even though Horizon Zero Dawn is 8,000 times bigger than Forza Motorsport 7, and even though I want to say 80% of the visual makeup of that game is interesting, you're not visual. Oh, can y'all hear that? Oh,
yeah.
Blue, what's up, Blue? How you doing, baby? Thank you for following. Can't stay, but wanted to follow. I appreciate it. I see you. You doing the stream too. Are you competing with me? You know I can't compete with you, Blue. Anyway, now that's Blue Rendezvous, new member of Triple B. She's doing the damn thing. Appreciate it, Blue. So here's the deal. Horizon Zero Dawn, again, 80% of the visuals are stunning. stunning. The problem is the 20% that aren't stunning, or the 20% that you play most of the game through. Meaning the human interaction. When you're talking, the eyeballs flicker and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's high off of methamphetamines and paint thinner. Okay. There's this weird, and then there's this weird ass pause. Like, hello, Aloy, are you gonna go get me my ham sandwich? I left it over there by that Dinobot, and I don't want him to eat it before you put it in your hand and it goes splat. You know what I'm saying? Go get it for me. And then there's this long ass pause where they're just looking at each other and they're shaking their neck like Charlie Murphy on one of the Dave Chappelle skits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And she'll just come out of nowhere. Oh yeah, I don't want it to go splat either. Let me go get it. And she's just looking at it. They're just shaking and bobbing. And you know what I'm saying? Then last but not least, I want to say that the game is X-rated because they tried to go so deep in the detail with some of the character animations that what they were trying to do was add the saliva, you know what I'm saying, in your mouth, but it looks like Ron Jeremy just had way with somebody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? In every character, it looks sickening, man. And it directs your attention all the time. Like, why is their mouth full of jizz?
Very glistening lips, like very glistening mouth.
Yeah, the glistening mouth. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Thank you, TRS. He coined it. The glistening mouth.
Yeah.
sound like some Stephen King shit. Yeah, the
glistening mouth.
The glistening mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
starring Tom Hanks.
Yeah, exactly. The last thing. Starring Tom Hanks. The glistening mouth. Yo. So being that most of the time you're not going to be looking out in the atmosphere, you're going to be actually talking and playing with people. And yeah, you're going to be fighting the Dinobots. A large part of that game is flawed. Opposed to where Forza Horizon 7 looks beautiful all the way around. You're looking out in the horizon because it's a car game. And you're driving and you're looking at the atmosphere. I'm going to say this, that the technology used, because I've been reading on this technology, because it's the same engine that weird ass, what's that dude's name that does it? Kojima. That weird ass Kojima is using for Death Stranding. And they said that this engine is powerful as hell. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And for a game to look like that after crappy ass Guerrilla Games, because they're trash. If Guerrilla Games can make Horizon Zero Dawn look like that, and run that smooth when their last previous installments were all garbage except for the first Killzone, then the tech must be impressive. However, Guerrilla Games did not do the tech the best light. You know what I mean? The technology is impressive, but the simple fact that Mass Effect was dogged for its weird facial animations, I don't know how Horizon Zero Dawn can get the tech demo award when we know the tech is impressive, but it wasn't utilized well because of the restraints of the users. That's just my thoughts. I've been talking for 47 minutes. I didn't even realize that, so let me shut the hell up. Let me finally pass it off to somebody. Killer Hill, we're going to give it to you first, man, because we glad to have you back. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think I'm being over the top? What's the spill?
No, I think you're dead on. I mean, because considering you actually got experience in shit, so
yeah,
you can speak on it.
I mean, and you said you've played a little bit of it and you've seen a lot more than you played. It does. I mean, the atmosphere looks fantastic, man. But
yeah, I mean, the weapons and all that. Yeah, it seems cool. I would rock it, but like I say, once I beat it, I can see myself definitely trading that shit in for something else type deal.
Yeah,
it's not a keeper. Like,
See,
like I said, I like RPGs. I keep all my RPGs because there's always something to go back and do. And now that you got the DLCs, keep my shit. So I don't see Horizon Zero Dawn though. I just don't see it. I don't see me making that extra $40, $50 investment to do the DLC.
Neverland's gonna kill you. He's like, you ain't no PlayStation dude. No, that's Neverland. That's Neverland's game of the year. But Neverland is the mod of the year. That's all right, man. That says say over dramatic guy says say map, then spell map, then say Ness. Okay. All right, we'll get to that, bro. TRS, what are your thoughts, man?
I've never actually played the game, but I just want to make y'all aware of my new album that's coming out this spring, Glistening Mouth. It's gonna be the ultimate album. You've heard nothing like it. Glistening Mouth, y'all.
The Glistening Mouth
on RCA cassettes and CDs. But anyway, as far as the game you was talking, I haven't played the game, but the way you're making it sound, especially with the acting and the voiceovers and whatnot, it almost sounds like they got the same acting team from Mighty Number 9.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever played Mighty Number 9, that was the worst acting I've heard on any game. The dude that created Mega Man, he should be shot before him. And as far as inventors who have lost their minds, it still hurts, Kojima. It still hurts when you mention that. When you talk about it like he just came out of the state pen. You know, it's crazy how I cannot believe this man has fallen. This man was a god.
Yeah.
And whenever you mention that, it's like, oh wow, I forgot he's 5150.
Yeah, you talking about the dude that made the original maker of Mega Man, or you talking about Kojima?
No, I was saying. I said speaking of geniuses who have actually fallen short, and then I went from him to Kojima.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. Yeah. So and I said that the creator of Mega Man, should got shot in the forehead for his.
He said shot in the forehead for Mighty. Damn. Hey.
Have you played that? Have you heard the acting?
No, I have not gotten my hands on that. Like, I heard the bad reviews, and I know better than that. I normally still play something, but reviews have an effect on people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Reviews have an effect on people, and sometimes you fall for it. Sometimes you're strong enough to bypass it, and I wasn't strong enough. I was like, nah, I don't want to disintegrate my thought process over a classic Mega Man, because Mega Man is a classic to me. So I'm not even touching Mighty Number 9.
I thought this was revenge for him. Look, you won't let me by law continue with the saga of my own creation. All right, here's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to screw it up for everybody.
It's going to take over the universe, but the one keynote, I'm going to screw it up. That's the one key. Don't pay attention to that last part, but you'll like this game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that could have been. I don't. You know what? No, it sounds like it was one of those. It was
done too quick. That Kickstarter.
It was one of those Kickstarter joints. And with Kickstarter, it could be like, it's either you're rolling down a snow hill, or you're climbing up to the mountaintop. You know what I mean?
They act like you can't take your time. Does Kickstarter?
Oh yeah, you can. You can. Where the hell is it at? Where's it at? You know, that's all you hear.
You've only got 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. You know, so where's it at? Where the hell is it at? That's all you hear. So, you know, if you don't have, here's my thing, man. With a Kickstarter, I'm gonna give y'all some business advice. All right, because don't open a Kickstarter thinking I got this idea, it's gonna blow up. You know what I'm saying? And I got a way for people to fund me, but meanwhile, your ass is just sitting there eating Funyuns. You ain't put a dime into this. No. Get some capital up and put a lot of capital into it to where it's progressed enough. You know, you're going to have to get some investments unless your idea is just that crazy and it's going to get produced real quick. Like, let's just say what's that? The tally. What's that one towel that they used to advertise where it sucked the ShamWow? Unless it's something like the ShamWow, you know what I'm saying? Where it's just you just need materials and you can whip it together in 3 months. No. You need to have.
You have to basically have pretty much 95.9% of every concept you want to do done.
Exactly.
Before you do a Kickstarter.
And the crowdfunding is going to supplement your marketing, you know what I'm saying, and your production. Do not go into a Kickstarter thinking y'all gonna fund this and you're just sitting there watching Maury Povich eating your goddamn, wingdings. No, it's not gonna happen. And that's what happened with Mighty Number 9. He was like, I am the Mega Man. I'm going to create.
He got the money first, and then he said, "Here's how we're gonna do it."
Exactly.
He should have done it in reverse.
Yep. All he said, Mega Man. Everybody like, oh shit, yes. And they just started funding it, and then they were like, hey, where's it at? Every 5 minutes, hey, what are you doing, bub? Where's it at? And then he just said, oh, fuck it. And then he just put it out there, and it was horrible.
I'm busy.
It was Mighty Number Not. So, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. So, all right, here we go, peoples. Here we go, people. So that was my thoughts on the whole Digital Foundry thing. We really got to be very careful about what Digital Foundry is all about. They are great in one aspect, but they are not the tell-all, see-all. If you really care about the compute units and the Robotniks and all that other silly stuff, then you go right ahead and you listen to them. But as far as game recommendations, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Don't even listen to them. All right, so that's it for that. I thought that was interesting. I want to talk a little bit, and then I'm going to turn it over to my esteemed co-host. But I just want to talk a little bit about console wars, because we're going to talk a little bit 2018. All right, so the purpose of the show, if you didn't listen to the first episode, our MO is we're older gamers, we old school gamers, we giving you an old school gaming perspective from back in the days to when you didn't have James Cameron and Stephen King sitting there directing your games, and they were all cinematics, cry me, hug me titles. You actually had to have some gameplay in there, you know what I'm saying? And you actually had to have skill. That's the era that we come from. And I get it. You have a lot of people that don't come from that era, or they think the golden age of gaming was when the PlayStation first came out. And I'm not knocking anybody that thinks that way, but we don't come from it from that perspective. So therefore, all the drama, all the dramatics and all the fanboying and all the flag holding and the chest pounding, that's what y'all used to. Back in the day, if I had a Sega Genesis but Killer Hill had the NES, we would talk about which one we thought was better, but I'm coming over to his crib to play his NES. He's coming to my crib to play my Sega Genesis. It's the end of the story. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So therefore we didn't fall into that garbage, that hype, but y'all do now, so fine, whatever. And broadband bullies, we get up in the mix or whatever. But the reason why I want to talk about console wars is that there's a lot of bull crap that's being thrown out there that we're not going to get into here on the show. And I just want to go look over it at 500 feet, because it's getting ridiculous. Like, one thing that I'm seeing is, instead of if you have a PlayStation show or an Xbox show, 99.9% of your talk over dramatic guy says, does Nintendo Switch count as a console? Yeah, it does. It does by, it's razor thin. It does by hair. But no, you can't sleep the Nintendo Switch, man. Hey, look, I went back to work. I was talking to people about what they got for Christmas. And I work with a lot of people in the financial world. I want to say at least 60% of the people were talking about Nintendo Switches. Nintendo Switches, man, a lot of people pick that stuff up, man. So, we can't keep sleeping the Switch, even though am I picking it up here? But anyway, all right, that's enough with my Eartha Kitt noises. All right, so back to the subject at hand. Damn, you threw me off, over dramatic guy. You did what the hell you was aiming to do. What the hell was I talking about?
Murder.
Yeah. What the hell was I talking about? I was talking the console war. So if you're a PlayStation Pro podcast or an Xbox Pro podcast, 99% of your podcast should be about what is great about your console, unless there's some big news that comes from the other side that you want to talk about. I can understand and dominate. Like PUBG was a big thing, so I can understand where people may come out of the way from the PlayStation side and may want to talk about PUBG. But as I'm listening to a lot of these podcasts, the majority of them are talking about the other system. We don't get into that here. That's silly stuff to me. And one thing that I definitely want to talk about, which I want my esteemed colleagues to talk about, is media bias. All right. Now, as you know, we welcome everybody here. But I dropped a video today talking about this media bias because it exists. And you have a lot of people out here that create channels or create content or whatever that swear there is no media bias. And I don't know if they're waiting for a show on primetime with the media, you know what I'm saying? Or if they're just blind, deaf, and dumb. I don't know what it is. It could be both. Or it could be all three. And they like Destiny too. I don't know. No, I'm just But here's my thing. If you don't believe there's media bias, think about this. When PlayStation 3 was losing last generation, the constant theme was, yo, PlayStation, what is you doing, man? Y'all had 70% market share. Y'all better than this. Y'all better than this. I remember Adam Sessler even dropping a video, and a lot of people were with him. Adam Sessler from G4. Yeah. He was like, come on, guys. Uncharted, when Uncharted 1 first came out, Uncharted's a great game. The PlayStation 3 in general is a great console. Come on, pick it up, please. You know what I'm saying? I used to be on GameSpot and a whole bunch of other publications where that was the same sentiment over and over again, battling these dudes, battling these fanboys. Also, Ryan Giggs, now we talking about Final Fantasy, right? This dude, Ryan Giggs, he was big at IGN. He said, hey, if you, look, man, Final Fantasy, I can't remember which one it was, but it was the first Final Fantasy that was no longer exclusive to PlayStation. That's when we knew that the PlayStation dominance was starting to drop. You know what I mean? And Ryan Giggs of IGN, he was a big guy at IGN, and they posted his op-ed, and everybody was praising it at IGN, and everybody was praising it in the Puke Pundit community. He had said, I can't play a Final Fantasy game on the Xbox console because the PlayStation signifies cool. What the hell does that mean? You're not cool if you're losing. It's just as simple as that. You know what I mean? And the sentiment last generation was, come on, PlayStation, you're better than this. Come on, you can do this. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Fast forward to now. Microsoft does drop DRM, tries to do it in a sloppy way that nobody likes. The system is more expensive with this stupid-ass Kinect. Kinect was a mistake. I was arguing that last generation. Kinect was a mistake. Trying to go all casual on us all of a sudden when you just won one generation was a stupid way to go. But whatever. But they fixed all those problems, and they had more games that came out. You know what I'm saying? And they finally fixed the narrative, the power narrative, all this other stuff. But the narrative now is Xbox is garbage. Xbox is trash. No, let's forget about what good they're doing. Like PUBG, for instance. PUBG sold 4 million copies in 2 weeks. It outsold Horizon Zero Dawn by the numbers that we've been provided so far. So why would you, instead of having, how can you spin that into a negative? How can you have an article that's, when Microsoft gives you PUBG now for free when you pick up an Xbox One X, how can you as a major publication say your free copy of PUBG is now expensive? Like, how do you do that? Media bias. A lot of these people that are out here in the gaming community that are doing the commentary and all this other stuff, they're PlayStation guys. But they want to make it seem like they're coming down the middle. And this is why we don't do the console wars. We don't do the console wars because, look, TRS and I, we favor, everybody has a bias. Let's put it out there. You have your favorite sports team. You don't say, oh, I like them all the same. You got your favorite color. You got your favorite food. Everybody has a bias to something. PSN down, what's up, bro? He said, they're still salty as fuck. The grown-ass man children, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, and big ups to everybody in the chat, man. You know, this is big, man. Y'all doing the damn thing out here in the chat. So here's my thought. This is why we don't do the console wars here. And I didn't bring it up to say, I'm not saying that one product is better than the other. I'm just saying there's bias out here, and there just happens to be more PlayStation cats running the journalism than there is Xbox cats. And I'm going to even say more than Nintendo cats. Nintendo gets its respect only because they come with Thor's hammer every time you say something bad about Nintendo. The mugs do not play. They ready to slit throats. That's why they get their respect. But Microsoft don't garner the same respect. They look like some kick me clowns. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get my esteemed panel start on this, because this whole, there is no biased media. What I think is only prevalent is baloney to me. It makes no sense, but I want to get y'all thoughts on it. We're going to start with TRS. What do you think? Is there a biased media, and if so, you know, in which ways? You know what I'm saying? Or am I over the top?
No, I can recognize the bias whenever I hear when they're speaking and they're doing reviews, even like reviews on G4, something like that. But I'm the kind of gamer where this is actually my weak point when it comes to commentary on stuff like this, because I've always been the one to just look at something, see how it's played, you know, read the bylines, everything, and from that I just determine if I'm going to like it. I don't go by anybody's real opinion or anything like that. I actually have to see the game. Sometimes I watch somebody play it. So this kind of portion of the show, it's always been my weakness, because I've never bought anything based on what the media would say about it. You know what I mean? I would just, especially for my cheap butt, I would just, one of the main reasons why I conquered the game is because it was like maybe $5.
Yeah.
And I just bought it. You know, it was cheap. That's the one that was hot like 18 months ago. Now it's only $12. All right, let me check it out.
Yep.
It looks good. I'm used to the series. I'm not really good with those media people, because I don't listen to them. You know, it's the same with movies. I don't listen to the reviews and stuff with movies. If it looks good, I go see it. I go check it out, or I wait for the bootleg. Did I say bootleg?
Oh no, they're shutting us down.
Don't call Charlie back. But
yeah, don't call it Charlie.
I'm just saying, man. The reviewers and stuff like the last time I gave a damn about anybody's review, I was a preteen listening to Siskel and Ebert.
Yeah.
That was the last time I cared about a review. That was
if the first Ghostbusters was good or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the only reason why I watched that show is because I got to see movie scenes.
Yeah.
I really didn't care about the review. So, I mean, I'm not really good on that aspect. Killer Hill might be a little bit better on that.
Killer Hill. Okay, now Killer Hill's the PlayStation guy. Don't let us bully you, motherfucker. Don't let us bully your ass.
Hey, no.
What you think about that, man? You think there's media bias, or do you think that
bias against what, indie games and major developers?
No, media bias against Microsoft right now, this generation.
Oh, just Microsoft in general.
Yeah.
As far as the Xbox goes, I do. I do.
Okay.
And I say this because you don't really see, like you said, there's really not that many super hard Xbox exclusives out there.
Yeah.
Which is usually a multi-platform game.
Yeah.
It's usually,
and that could be the reason why.
Yeah, and it's like they're kind of asking for the bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got all this YouTube content of how you say PlayStation fanboys talking about all these multi-platform games, and they just playing them on the Xbox. I mean, not Xbox. They playing them on PlayStation. Gotcha. So with that, you do get that bias. You know what I mean? Because it's all that content is just. It seems like they feed you PlayStation exclusive opinions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really get that Xbox opinion unless you actually search it out.
Yeah, exactly. Because the media, that's what
just as far as looking for an opinion on a game, chances are it's going to be a PlayStation opinion.
Right.
I think that's kind of shit.
Yeah.
But Xbox, in this defense, Xbox is kind of doing it to themselves.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Like, the simple fact of the matter is that it is true. If you're losing, people are going to find things that are wrong. That's not that's there's nothing false about that at all. It's just that, you know, if you compare last gen to this gen, like when PlayStation 3 was falling, I was like, man, what is y'all doing? It was like, you know, I said in my video, it was like Mickey, you know, trying to cheer on Rocky. What the hell you doing, Rock? Get the hell in there. You're getting your ass whooped, swallowing your teeth. You know what I'm saying? It was like cheering them on, like, come on, come on. To where this one, it's like, oh yeah, Microsoft is trash. They hate everybody. They hate babies. As a matter of fact, no, they like babies. They eat baby arms. You know, it's just crazy. It's a bunch of garbage. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, like,
so you said it's like a lot of misinformation when it comes to
that's my problem, is the misinformation. It's not if you're dogging somebody, but like, for instance, I dropped a video not too long ago where GameSpot, the place that I used to frequent, I'm notorious there, man. They done banned me so many goddamn times. It's crazy. I'm surprised. I'm surprised the feds ain't my house, man. But GameSpot dropped a video in, I think, November, when the PlayStation Pro came out. And in that video, they were like, the one guy was like, yeah, man, the PlayStation Pro's coming out. It's, you know, supposed to, you know, give you 4K this and all this other stuff, man. Hey, look, man, I can't wait to get a 4K TV for that. Then they took the same dude, what he said about the Xbox One X, and he sat there and he said, yeah, the Xbox One X, I don't get it. You got to get an expensive 4K TV for that? See, I don't know if I'm getting that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're talking the same attribute for the PlayStation 4 Pro is now a negative for the Xbox. How is that possible? Because there's media bias. And look, I'm going to just put it to you like this. The PlayStation Nation is large. It's large. It's large as hell. It's large like Large Professor. Okay, it's large as hell. It is the main source, all right? Like, I remember when I picked up my Xbox, when I went to go pre-order my Xbox One X, and there were people in line. And there was about 30 of us in line, and I want to say about it because I talk to the people, you know, because I do this stuff. And I just talk to people because I'm a nerd anyway. So when I was talking to the people in line, I discovered, because I was talking shit, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm an Xbot and I'm here for my Xbox One X. And it's like, no, dude, I ain't no Xbox. I ain't no fanboy. I want them killer graphics. When I Call of Duty come out, man, I want my shit to pop. I was like, oh, really? I was like, damn. So half of the line was not fanboys. They were casuals. So this dude behind, and you could tell, like, I know the two dudes that work down there at this GameStop, right? And the manager that I'm cool with down there, he's also a PlayStation dude, but me and him, we keep it real. We chop it up. So the dude that said that to me, that was behind me, he gets in line and he's going to make his pre-order. So he's asking the guy all these questions, and he's like, yo, all right, so I want, you know, I mainly play Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I want to know, how do I know it's going to be what's going to be enhanced on the Xbox One X? And the guy's like, man, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to do. Like, he was like, man, he was like agitated. And then somebody else came behind him and started asking him Xbox One X questions. By the third person, because I hung around, he literally said out his mouth, man, I don't get it. He was agitated. I don't get it. What is so great about this Xbox One X, man? What is everybody here for?
Wow,
and I was like, damn.
Why yet?
Yeah, why not yet? You know? I was like, yo, for real? Like, he couldn't even hold it anymore. He gets like that Dave Chappelle skit with the black white supremacist. Dude head blew up in the back, you know what I'm saying? When Dave Chappelle took the mask off, showed the melanin, you know what I'm saying? When the people showed the melanin and showed that they wanted the Xbox One X and they were casuals, dude got hot. He was mad, man. And so the PlayStation Nation is real. The PlayStation diehards, like, what you got to remember is PlayStation for these guys meant life. I remember, well, I ain't going to get into that story. I'll say that story for another time. But these guys, the PlayStation made gaming cool for a lot of people. Like, people like me and TRS and Killer Hill, we don't give a shit what you thought about us. We was gaming it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At the arcades, with our rolls of quarters, you know, and our paper clips if we was slick about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, man.
We ain't give a shit what you thought about us.
Y'all don't know about the paperclip skills.
They don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? But we was doing a damn thing. And We didn't care whether as a matter of fact, we wanted to be segregated from the majority. We wanted to be in our own little hubs because we ain't want no false shit. We ain't want no, see, back in our generation, the mainstream always watered things down. So we didn't want them in our stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want the pop culture in with our stuff because that's what kept it pure. But nowadays, if you like something, you have to go on Facebook so everybody else likes it too, because you need everybody else's approval.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't need people's approval. We knew that we liked playing Street Fighter, sweating all day, you know what I'm saying, and eating nachos, and that's what we did. But back to the point at hand is that, you know, nowadays, later on in the console gaming thing, when the PlayStation came out, it made gaming acceptable to the pop culture. Okay, so once it made it acceptable to the pop culture, that meant a lot to a lot of these people. That inspired them. I know so many people that picked up a PlayStation that didn't game before that went into graphic designing. You know what I'm saying? Doing art and all this other stuff. And PlayStation inspired a lot of people, changed their lives. These people are now in the industry. They're not going to sit there and say, oh, it's in the name of gaming, like how we used to do. They're going to say, no, they're part of the PlayStation Nation. They have infiltrated the masses. They're running the whole shebang now. So when we sit there and say that there's gaming bias, everybody has a bias. But as a professional, you're supposed to put, like, I hate Horizon Zero Dawn. But I give Sony its credit because that is the first open world game that expansive that it gave to its public. And its public was dying for something like that. So they get props for that. So you got to be a professional. You got to be able to say, you know what, even though I don't like something, I am giving a broad, opinion that affects the masses beyond what I like and what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. Anybody else got a follow up to that? Y'all just happy that I shut the hell up finally.
I'm just look. I don't listen to those people. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty much at a standstill with that kind of thing. I don't listen to a lot of the media, and like we were mentioning before, whenever I think of video game media and stuff like that, the first thing I think is PlayStation. Yeah. And that's a system I currently don't have right now. I mean, everything media that I see all the time is PlayStation.
Gotcha.
Xbox seems to be, and it is Xbox's own demise would actually be their own fault.
Yep.
Per se. But I'm enjoying it until they die.
Yep. As long as I enjoy it, I'm happy. I just want Xbox to do better, because if they don't get a bigger install base with this consoles, developers are going to be less prone to give content. And then you're going to start seeing these third-party games that became available on the Xbox. They're going to disappear and go back to Sony. That's what Sony's trying to do. Sony, Sony's claim to fame was its King of Fighters and all those other games that were third-party games but weren't available nowhere else. And its Grand Theft Autos, they would love to kill to have Grand Theft Auto exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, man, anybody would.
Exactly. Red Dead Redemption, if that was, man, come on, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah. That's another one they killed for.
So that's what they're working towards, So that's that. All right, so I want to close out by shutting the hell up and letting TRS and Killer Hill, let Killer Hill educate me and TRS, and TRS and Killer Hill can go back and forth about it. I'm going to shut the hell up because I've been talking too I was agitated, but I feel better now. Talk about Final Fantasy 15. Killer Hill, educate us about this game, what this game is about, why you like it, why you think that we should pick it up.
Well, if you like RPGs, it's your typical RPG. You know what I mean? Graphics is nails as far as that aspect goes. As far as, let's see, every other Final Fantasy, I think this one got the best. They put the most time in their graphics. The summonings are kind of I'll honestly say the graphics look good, but it's like their summonings is kind of random. You have like no control over what the hell comes out sometimes. But when they come, it's cool. Let me think. The fighting engine is nice. You know what I mean? It's just like none of that pause. You just go straight into banging. That's a nice little aspect of it. You still got the little RPG at, you know, you can still do your little control, but you still got the, you know, the AI. They can just walk around and bang you, make them hard. Let me think. Boss fights ain't bad. Overall story ain't bad. It's long as shit. I mean, I'll say that. If you want to spend a couple months on it.
Oh, word. Well, I'm
that was a
salty.
selling point for me to like the longevity of it. Because if I'm gonna play an RPG, I want to spend 100 hours. On
Exactly.
It, you know? Right.
And I'm sold.
So that they got that going for them.
I know I said I was going to shut up, but I lied. So if you had to rank this Killer Hill, well, number one,
I would give 1 through 10.
yeah,
I give it an 8.
You gave it an 8.
1 through 10, I give it an 8.
All right. What is your favorite? What is your favorite Final Fantasy that you've played?
Ooh, I would have to say. I would have to say 12.
12. Okay. Okay.
I would have to say 12 with the gambits. I kind of enjoyed the gambit system. You could just set your gambits, walk around, and have them beat the shit out of people whenever the fuck they ran into somebody. Heal whenever they needed heal. I mean, it kind of made the game really. I like this. I like to use the term smoker friendly.
Oh, okay.
Like, really, you didn't have to pay too much attention to it. You can like literally sit there, smoke a cigarette, and just let the game play itself. Sometimes you have to like really give it some attention when it was like a boss fight or something like that. But as far as like moving from one area to another, them gambits, man,
for real.
Like, okay, cigarette break. I'll just push the controller. So I did like that about 12. That was like one of the. They never brought the gambit system back to any other Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
That's right too, man. Because they just remade 12 again, so I'm hoping they did bring back that gambit system in 12 that they had.
Yeah, that was
I might actually buy that for the PlayStation 4 because I did enjoy that for the Station 2.
Word. That's what's up, man. So, okay. Well, that when you told me that it took a couple months to beat, I was sold.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially with me, like I can only give it like 2, maybe 4 hours any given day, and it still was time consuming. You know what I mean? Good. That's yeah. If you like the longevity of RPGs like I do, you enjoy Final Fantasy 15.
What's your thoughts on that, TRS?
Well, I love me a long RPG, definitely. It's not long and dragging and putting me to sleep, but long and it's just constantly fire, just constantly coming at me. And I actually have 2 favorite Final Fantasies. I know everybody says 7's the shit. No,
yeah,
that's not.
Yeah, that's the go-to. That's the default.
That's the go-to. I would have to say, as far as what I liked with the storyline was 12, and other than the ending, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Or no. Let me correct myself. Which one was the one? Was it 7? Not 7. It was 10. 10. I'm sorry. 10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. 10. Yeah, I would say that's my second favorite.
Yeah, those are my 2 favorites. So other than the ending to 10, 10 was fire to me.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm very superficial, and like I said, I come from the era where we didn't want pop culture in what we like because it kind of like made it evil. it's like putting salt in the Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? It kind of messed up the flavor pretty much. So Final Fantasy VII though was cool. So what I'm basically trying to say is Final Fantasy VII was cool, but when I was playing the 1, 7 and above, like the drama that was in them, I was like, so I never really gave them a chance.
That shit started with 4.
Yeah, it started with 4.
That drama.
5 was the one with the ninja, right? Was it 5?
No,
5 or 6. It was 5 or 6.
That was
the ninja.
6 for NES or
for NES, yeah.
Yeah, NES.
Or Super Nintendo, I think it was Super NES. 6.
Yeah, 6 was Super Nintendo. 3 was Nintendo.
Okay. 6. Now that was my joint. I loved Final Fantasy 6 with the ninja. The way, and that's the thing. The reason why I love that so much is because they made it like a movie. But I think the thing that kind of tainted it for me, where I really didn't pass 7, I really didn't get into it the way I should have, was because, you know, it seemed like it was like catering a little bit more to pop culture. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I never played 12. And I really didn't give 10 too much of a chance. I was playing it with SP for a little bit.
Yeah, that's who got me on it.
Yeah, SP loved 10. Yo, we got the TRS. We gonna have to chat about that. Do we want to even get him on the show? Would it even be worthwhile, man? We'll talk about that.
Give him what he needs. He'll get on.
You said give him what he needs.
Give him what he needs.
You got my shit, baby. You know, yeah. Give him what he needs, man. But 6 is my favorite, and I played that game. As a matter of fact, me and SP beat 6 together.
Okay. We
beat it together, man. And we were both amazed. We're like, damn. So he helped me beat 6. And me and him played that every day for like, oh shit, I want to say at least a month. We played that every day. They had to throw us out the house, man. It was like, man, go outside and play. We was playing that every day for a month. So yeah, I like long RPGs, man. When I play my RPGs, I get my strategy guide. I get my little notepad because I'm trying to find every little intricacy. I get into it, man. That's why RPGs are my favorite games, like the serious RPGs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's why I want my station back, because I do want to get into Persona 5. I keep hearing things about Persona 5.
Me too. I do want to give it a crack.
And I hope it ain't just because it's all that weirdo shit with the penis god and all that other stuff. Did you hear about that? There's a penis monster.
Penis god.
Yeah, there's a penis monster, and I hope that's not why. Because you know how they are now about their animated weird shit. You know, and
it can't get left field.
Yeah, it can't get left field. And I hope that Persona 5 got a lot of length to it and a lot of good mechanics, and it ain't just this aura to it. You know, this weird skirt, 13-year-old girl skirt wearing aura to it. I want gameplay, I want longevity, and I want good mechanics. So we'll see, but.
Hey, man, as far as RPGs, you never gave me any kind of review or told me anything about that one you were playing religiously when the 360 first came out. What was that called, where the guy was immortal?
Too Human.
No. It was before that. It was an RPG, and the guy was like a dark-haired guy with armor on, a little slim guy. It was during the time that I was playing Skyrim.
Oh shit!
Like, I was one of the last people to play Skyrim. And anyway, it was what was it called? Some Journey or something. I forgot what it was called. It was one of the first RPGs that came out for 360.
For Xbox?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I forgot where the guy, he lived forever, right? And he was trying to remember who he was, and he was running through these towns, these huge towns and stuff. But I have to look it up.
I'm still thinking about it, but my man Cyrus Burke in the chat said the penis monster, he didn't use penis, but the penis monster is real, though I think it's a side quest. Heard the music is dope, though.
Did he say the penis monster is real?
Yeah, it's real out here, man.
It's real out here.
The struggle is real with the penis monster. The struggle is real.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yo, I don't know, hey Cyrus, man. I want to play it. If you give it a thumbs up, I'll grab it. Ooh, that didn't sound right, man.
Right? Penis monster.
Yeah, not the penis monster. I won't grab the penis monster.
No homo.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah, like that Dave Chappelle. Did y'all see that Dave Chappelle skit? It's everywhere. Yo.
Man.
But yeah, I want to get into Persona 5. It's I hear people talk about it a lot. You know what I mean? But the dude with the dark hair. Oh man, we gotta figure that one out, man.
I'm still thinking about it. It's racking my brain right now.
Yeah, it is.
I'm looking for it now.
First Xbox RPG.
I mean, I know of what's it call it? There was Kingdom of Amalur, but the dude was in a uniform with that. You said you was playing. I can't remember, man. Said dude with a dark hair.
So and then he lived forever, and this era he had lost his memory, and you were running around getting hints and stuff.
Oh, Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey, yeah.
Lost Odyssey. Yeah, Lost Odyssey was made by the same dude that made. That's a very interesting point, and I'm glad we're talking RPGs because I love RPGs, man. Here's the thing: there were two big Japanese style RPGs on the 360. And this was a subject matter from last week, but I was trying to keep Jay Wags from stabbing me in the throat, so we didn't get onto it. And we could talk about this and close out. I think the Japanese games, the JRPGs on the 360 were half-ass. Here's why I say that. I like Blue Dragon, and I like Lost Odyssey. They were decent. But from what I understand, Microsoft gave them mugs a lot of money to come up with some good shit. And that cake came out a little flat. You know, it was still sweet. You know, you can still pick at it. But it came out flat. Now, I like Blue Dragon. But it wasn't like, you know, when you got into, I want to say, Arc the Lad or Xenogears. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are games that captured your soul.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I remember
It's classic.
before I got married, I lost a hell of a lot of girlfriends because of RPGs. Motherfucker, get out the room! You know what I'm saying? No, go.
I'm talking to Cosmos.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking to Cosmos.
I'm riding the chocobo. Come on, man, get out of here. What else? Chrono Trigger. Man, those games captured your soul. You know what I mean?
Immortal.
Immortal, man. Like, and I don't even want to talk about Final Fantasy 2. We ain't even going to go there, man. They ain't even ready for that. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But Microsoft gave them Chocobo, Chrono Trigger, Xenogears. You know, they gave them that type of dough. And Blue Dragon had elements, but when I stopped playing it, I didn't feel like, oh man, I was like, it's a decent game. It has aspects to it, but I didn't like feel like, oh, fantastic. And then I picked up Lost Odyssey. Well, they're both backwards compatible. So Lost Odyssey, I picked up again, and I started playing that. Right. Well, I actually bought it online a while ago, and my digital copy was now available. Which, thank you, Microsoft. Appreciate your backwards compatibility program. And when I started playing it, it was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's residual shit. It's like, I had an idea that I was going to drop back in the day. I scrapped it. I took the notes back out of the waste can. Here, Microsoft. What, 40 million? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? That's what they feel like. So my thing is that they're decent. If you're an RPG enthusiast, oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, you'll get some enjoyment out of it. But the shit that we're talking about now, where the penis god is getting stiff, no, you ain't getting that from Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon. You know, and that's a fact. It's sad, and it leads to another point to where, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it, and then we can close out. People are mad at Microsoft because they will not pursue the Japanese games like that harder. Because they keep showing up on PlayStation. My thoughts are, after Microsoft dropped so much money on they were trying to get those games to you last gen, and the best they got was Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, which really didn't do much. You know, they weren't big successes. It proves that the Japanese culture is real native. They're nativists, meaning Microsoft, we're not giving you jack squat. We're gonna put our best efforts over to Sony. You're not getting anything from us. And when you do, it's residual. That's how the Japanese work with everything. It's cultural with them. And people don't understand that. So when people get mad at Microsoft for not having the better product, it's not like Microsoft doesn't go over there. It's not like Microsoft doesn't appease them. It's not like Microsoft don't suck the sushi out of their ass sometimes, all right? They're doing everything they can. But even after doing all that, there you go, silly rabbit. Here you go. Lost Odyssey. We took it out of the waste can. So that's my thoughts. Like, Microsoft don't even worry. That's not going to be the shebang. Just like how PlayStation shebang is never going to be the service-based shooter. It's never going to happen. What are your thoughts on that? Like, should Microsoft, Killer Hill, try to poach the Japanese games better? Do you think they're just not trying hard enough?
I don't think they're trying hard enough.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
I think they should go a little harder on appealing to, especially the animes that's out there that got games like One Piece and the Naruto. They should try to like corner that market. They got some potential there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an audience for it. If you could get those exclusive on Xbox, them anime games, hey, it could be a turn in the right direction. I say that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Instead of having all of those animes, PlayStation exclusive games, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of fanboys that's gamers and anime watchers.
Yeah, get it. Well, if you can get it,
they can get that exclusive, like especially the popular ones. Man, Xbox, they can turn this around.
Yeah.
They go that route. But like you say, the way it's looking, they don't even want to attempt it. You know what I mean? It's like they gotta eat some more sushi, so to speak. Yeah.
They gotta suck it out their ass. I know this.
Yeah, suck it out their ass. Yeah, I mean,
this podcast done turned left a while ago. Yeah. They were like, FCC is coming. Hey, yo, TRS, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Microsoft ain't trying hard enough, or they've tried hard but they just not getting any pay dirt?
I've always wondered if it was both, because I mean I'm very familiar with a lot of Japanese-based games that didn't even make it here. I played a lot of them from before I even got here. I'm hoping that it's because they're asking for too much, not that Xbox just did or Microsoft just didn't try hard enough. Because I mean I can kind of understand the separatism with like the Japanese producers and things like that with games, but I will admit that maybe that's why some of our American-based games are out now that are hot. Because of that, I'm not sure. But I do know offhand that there's a lot of games that I played before they got here that were phenomenal from Japan. I mean, when I first played the original, I don't know if you guys have ever played JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
When I played the original version of that, from that point on, there was not one Street Fighter that I was interested in. After I played that, it was beyond like you said with the Japanese. They kind of go over the board with the stuff that they do.
Yeah,
and that game was so beyond. It just blew me away. And Street Fighter was just Street Fighter is the way I feel about like Call of Duty compared to a Destiny.
Okay.
Or something like that. It's tight, but it's not enough. It's not blowing my eyes out. With fantastic stuff. I mean, the fighters on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, their spirits come out and fight you after a while, and they start banging. I mean, it's bad. I mean, some of the bad guys, it kind of reminds you of the weirdness of Darkstalkers times 100.
Okay.
You remember Darkstalkers?
Yeah, oh yeah, Darkstalkers.
Like that. Yeah. It's like that times 100. It's like this beyond, like the one girl throws you into the air, and then this big mouth with big fat, Sambo lips opens up and swallows you whole.
Yep.
It's weird, man. It was pretty tight. So I know there's games out there that are like beyond the beyond, but what do you have to do to get that version over here? I don't know. I don't know.
Big ups to my man Dragonmore7. He's in the chat. He's a Triple B Patreon supporter, part of the Triple B family. You know what I'm saying? He says to go coincide with what you're saying, TRS. He says we do need more fighters. We need more fighters. On
Yeah,
the Xbox side.
Some of the fighters that I've seen that haven't come over here blow the majority of what I've seen already here out the water, but they just won't come over here.
Yep.
And some of that stuff is just beyond. You feel like they look like gods when you're watching them fight. It's the most insane stuff on those fighters that you haven't seen yet on the stuff that's come over here. So I'd like to see a lot of that, and that will probably get me back into fighters.
Well, here's the deal. Here's my thoughts on it, and then we'll wrap up. Because we all got to go to work. Here's my thoughts on it. I get where Killer Hill's coming from. I get where you's coming from. TRS. I think it's more so like Popeye U's. But I get. But here's the problem that I'm having. Like, Phil Spencer, who is now the head of the Xbox division, is the most ass-kissingest mofo out there. Okay. He laps more ass than the Labrador. All right. Him and Aaron Greensberg went over to Japan, and they've been kissing. Lyrics, man. It's off that new album, man. What'd you say the new album was called? What do we call it? Oh man, I wrote it down.
Slobbery mouth.
Slobbery, yeah, man. The glossy mouth, yeah.
The glossy mouth.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a cut on that album, man. Glossy mouth.
Lyrics. On fire.
Dylon. The problem is that I just don't think that. I think with the Japanese developers, when they saw that the 360 was killing it, they said, all right, somebody got to put something out here, and they did, and the effort wasn't fire. It wasn't Dylon, okay. And this time around, the PlayStation is back on top, and now look at the floodgates. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just poured in with the Japanese. There were 58 exclusive content titles this year alone for PlayStation. 51 of them are Japanese titles.
Yeah, see?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And I think that supports the case that Sony, I don't think they really want, I mean, not Sony, the Japanese developers, I don't think they really want to put anything on Microsoft. They want to see success with Sony. Like, Sean Layton went over there and said, okay, y'all can start giving us games. And Sean Layton, man, look, there's nothing smooth about this dude. He's the PlayStation, one of the PlayStation guys. There's nothing smooth about this dude. You can tell he is not the nicest guy. He don't kiss a lot of ass. He just gets shit done. And, you know, and big ups to him for that. Phil Spencer, on the other hand, man, you could tell this mug is, here, let me, you know, he's chopping up the swordfish for him, feeding it to him, you know what I'm saying? You could tell this dude, you can tell this dude is just awesome. It's just awesome teabag shit, you know what I'm saying? You can tell he was over there getting teabag like crazy.
Bam!
You know? And the true tell would be, these mugs was happy taking pictures, but if next year at E3, now we're going to hold this discussion, next year at E3, if they do not get a significant amount of Japanese titles that they announce, then it was all for naught. And that just proves that the Japanese developers are being nativist and they just don't want to come to the Microsoft console because it's an American console.
I was getting ready to ask you guys. Sony's still there, so isn't that still a factor?
Yep. That's what I think it is. But we'll see at E3. If at E3 they can drop like 4 or 5 titles and be like, yo, or even maybe 3, and they're exclusive Japanese content that looks promising, I'll shut the hell up. But if not, if they can't do it with all the ass kissing they did in their recent trip, if they can't come back with 3 titles to announce, no, then the Japanese ain't kicking it up.
Yeah,
they ain't kicking it up
until Dave Thomas's daughter purchases Sony. That's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the owner of Wendy's.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not happening. All right, well, that's it for the show, y'all. We said it was going to be short, and we lied. So, big ups to everybody. Thank you. TRS, thank you, Killer Hill, and thank you to myself for becoming available. We appreciate everybody. Does anybody want to sign off with anything before we close shop?
Oh, sir. Oh, sir. Shout out to the Grotto. Big ups.
Oh, yeah.
Do
yeah.
it.
TRS, you're going to have to send me that link, because what I'll do is in the video, I'll put a link to that that thing. I'll add it after, you know.
Yep,
no doubt. Yeah, follow. And then I'm going to put it in the Triple B thing, too. So
word.
Send that to me, brother. All right,
Grotto,
people.
we're coming.
They're coming. Here we come, y'all. Here we come. Killer Hill, any shout-outs or anything before you roll, man?
Keep gaming.
Yep.
Keep doing the damn thing. Look for fun games. Don't be all with that clan shit like I'm only Nintendo, I'm only Xbox.
Yeah.
Game. I don't even care if it's an Android game. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. He said, just do it. Just do it. That's how we roll back in the day, no doubt. Hey, yo, I appreciate y'all. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Let me give everybody their props. I mean, we had my man starting from the top. We had a lot of people in the chat today, man.
Yeah, we did.
We had Cyrus Burke, my man Neverland, the best goddamn mod in the world. Young C changed his name. Now he's not going to get his ass whooped and chained to a radiator. I appreciate that. My man, who else was in there? Hypebot. No, that was Blue Rendezvous. She graced us with her presence just for a second. Over dramatic guy. You know what I'm saying? And I want to make sure I ain't missing nobody. PSN down. Oh, yes, my man's PSN down. No doubt. I think that's it. And Dragonmore7. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of y'all. Hey, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Y'all have a wonderful gaming day.
Peace.